Let's just start with an idea that might hit a little too close to home. That feeling you get that you're just constantly exhausted, always running behind. What if it's not really about a lack of energy at all? What if it's actually about a lack of focus?
And this, right here, is the fundamental problem, isn't it? I mean, we all want the result. We want that feeling of accomplishment, the win. But the actual process, the grinding, day in, day out, unglamorous work? Yeah, not so much.
You know, it's a question that we all face. You know you should be working on that project, or hitting the gym, or just doing that one thing you've been putting off. And yet, there you are, scrolling through your phone instead. Why do we do that to ourselves?
Okay, let's really dive into this because this struggle, it's not a new thing. In fact, it's an ancient problem with a name that perfectly captures this battle we have with ourselves.
Akrasia. It's this ancient Greek word that literally means powerlessness or a lack of self-control. It's that exact moment where you choose the easy thing, the thing that feels good right now, even though you know deep down it's not what's best for you in the long run. This isn't some modern issue with smartphones. This is part of the human condition.
And what's really fascinating is how even the greatest minds in history totally disagreed on this. Socrates, for example, he basically thought that nobody willingly chooses to do the wrong thing. He argued that akrasia is just a form of ignorance. If you really understood what was best, you just do it. But then you have Aristotle, who's a bit more of a realist. He basically said, hey, look around. Common sense tells us that we often know exactly what's best for us, but our short-term desires just scream louder and end up winning the fight.
So if we accept that this is a battle between our rational self and our impulsive self, how do we give the good guy a fighting chance? Well, the answer comes from another incredible ancient story.
This is just such a brilliant illustration of something called a commitment device. See, Odysseus was smart. He knew his future self was going to be weak. He knew there was no way he could resist the siren song with willpower alone. So his present self made a decision to literally restrain his future self. He planned ahead for his own moment of weakness.
And that exact strategy, getting rid of distraction to overcome your own weakness, is more critical now than it has ever been. In the world we live in today, being able to do that isn't just a neat trick. It's basically a superpower.
Okay, so let's get really clear on the difference here. Deep work is where the magic happens. It's that intense, unbroken focus that actually creates something new and valuable. It's hard. Shallow work, on the other hand, is, well, it's pretty much everything else. Answering emails, shuffling things around, sitting in meetings. It makes you feel busy, but it rarely moves the needle on what truly matters. And this is why deep work is so rare. And because it's rare, it's incredibly valuable. Our brains are just wired to take the easy way out. It is always easier to check your inbox than to tackle a really complex problem. Plus, in most workplaces, looking busy is often mistaken for being productive. And every single time you switch tasks, you leave a bit of your focus behind. It's called attention residue. And that just degrades your performance on everything that follows.
So here's the bottom line. If you want to really succeed today, you need two core abilities. You need to be able to learn complicated things fast, and then you need to be able to apply those skills to produce at a super high level. And guess what? As this slide makes totally clear, the foundation for both of those, it's deep work.
But you know, knowing you need to do deep work, that's the easy part. Actually having the mental toughness to stick with it when it gets boring, or frustrating, or just plain hard, well, that's a whole other ballgame. That takes grit.
The psychologist Angela Duckworth talks about grit as this powerful mix of passion and perseverance. It's not about being intense for a week. It's about stamina. It's about sticking with your future day in and day out and treating life like a marathon, not a sprint.
And here's the thing. Grit isn't just something you have or you don't. It's forged. It's created in this crucible of two things. First, you need a challenge that pushes you way beyond what you think you can do. But, and this is so important, that challenge has to be paired with support. That support is what builds that little voice inside you that when things get tough, just says, I'll show you.
Which brings us to the engine room, the raw, unfiltered power behind deep work, behind grit, behind every single meaningful accomplishment. It isn't flashy, it isn't glamorous, it's discipline.
We have to be crystal clear on this. Motivation is an emotion. It's a feeling. It's wonderful when it's there, but man, is it unreliable. It comes and goes. Discipline, that's a choice. It's a system. It's what you do even when you don't feel like it. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fuel that keeps the fire burning, especially when it's cold and dark.
Now, this might sound harsh, but it is a powerful, powerful truth. The very fact that discipline is hard is what creates the opportunity. The fact that most people will always choose the comfortable path means that anyone willing to embrace the suck, anyone willing to do the miserable, lonely work, has a massive advantage.
This is the secret, isn't it? The victory we see in public is just the final result of all the private battles that were won beforehand. It's built on thousands of tiny, unseen decisions. To get up early when the alarm goes off, to do one more rep, to keep going when everyone else has gone home.
It all happens in those quiet moments, right? Before the world wakes up or long after it's gone to sleep.
When there are no cameras, no pats on the back, no external applause. It's just you and the work.
That is the real arena. That's where success is actually built. One painful, unseen, lonely step at a time.
So after all of this, after we've talked about acrasia and deep work and grit and discipline, it all boils down to a single moment. A choice that you have to make over and over again, every single day.
And this, right here, this is the whole game. Every single time you feel that pull towards distraction or comfort, you're making this exact choice. Are you going to pick the cheap, easy pleasure of right now, or the deep, lasting satisfaction of what you want most in your life?
Because at the end of the day, your dreams don't care if you're feeling unmotivated. They don't listen to your excuses. They have a price. And that price is sacrifice. It's discipline. So the only real question left is, what will you choose?